Hi everyone, my name's Adam. This is my channel Adam Sews, and this is this week's episode of Fridaysews. So what has been happening this week? Well, I'm going to try and do this in some sort of order this week. So in terms of sewing, I have made my Ilford jacket that I made that it was on my list of things to do this week, which is finished. It is ready to wear to the knit and stitching show tomorrow, and it is made from a corduroy fabric that came from Ilford Fabrics. It is the most beautiful corduroy I've ever worked with. The only thing I would say is it's quite dense, and I did struggle with a few parts of it because of the bulky seams, but although I went slowly, and even my Benino went through it, which is not a heavy duty machine. It is a powerful machine. But I did think that I was going to have to swap over to my semi-industrial, but I didn't have to. All I did was change from a universal needle to a Microtex, which is obviously a lot sharper. Went slowly, absolutely perfect. So this is the finished Ilford jacket. It is made from this beautiful blue corduroy. It is lined from it's like a wool cashmere blend lining, so it's super warm. It's got these bright blue buttons on it and a navy one at the top because I was one short, and I thought, you know what, why not make the top button a feature? It has got the plackets on the arms, and the buttons on the arms are slightly smaller, but they match the ones on the front of the jacket. So the plackets on these are quite difficult. You do have to hand sew them if you line it. They're not difficult, they're just fiddly. But if you hand sew them, they do go on beautifully. So those are the hand sewn plackets. You only have to hand sew them if you do the lined version. If you do the lined version, there is a hack to show you how to do it on the Friday Pattern Company website, which I will try and remember to link in the description box below. So that is my Ilford jacket, which I shall be wearing tomorrow. And I might as well just put it on rather than keep putting it down. So that is my Ilford jacket. I also managed to get a bag finished because I wanted a backpack to wear tomorrow in the stitching show. I wanted something that I can chuck all my stuff in, because I will be driving up there, so I wanted something to chuck my car keys in, my wallet, my phone, and so on and so forth. And if I buy anything that's small enough, then it can go in there as well. So the Out and About is a pattern by Annie. This pattern, I will not lie, challenged me more than any of the other by Annie patterns do. It involves techniques that are used in all of the by Annie patterns. So I don't know why I found it so much of a struggle to make in comparison to all of the others. This is something that I will probably never ever make to sell, purely because to get the finish on it that I would be happy with to sell, I don't think I would ever achieve. I will be making another one for a family member because I have got some fabric and I do think it would look really, really cute, which will come at a later stage. So that is the Out and About. Mine is made from Tula Fabrics. Sorry, I have an itch. It uses these proper padded rucksack straps, like a rucksack that you would buy. This is the thing that, although it's a difficult pattern, the finish isn't the best compared to what I am happy with my bags. But the actual techniques and the finished product looks, even though mine isn't how I would like it to be, the actual methods and the actual look of the finishes looks really professional, if that makes any sense, because I've just contradicted myself completely. So the handle on it is a padded handle. It's a proper double fold padded handle. It's actually lined with, it's filled with bag making foam, so it's actually squishy, as are the padded straps on here, which I've used Tula on the outside and a different one on the inside. It has the adjusters, and the strap tabs. It unzips the whole way around, so it opens up to another zip pocket. It has options to put mesh inserted pockets in the front. There is a lot of pockets that can go in this bag. I took some of them out. I won't use them, and it just seems like a complete waste of time putting them in when they will never get used. The front pouch opens down as well. This has got an elasticated pocket in here. Again, you can have mesh pockets that go in here for things like pens, keys, small items. So that zips up the whole way around, and then it has a front zip pocket as well here. And I think you might even be an option to put one on the back. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But that is my backpack, and I absolutely love it. And I will use it all the time now that I spent the best part of a whole entire day, from waking up in the morning till cooking dinner at night, constructing it. That was after I'd spent most of an afternoon quilting all the fabrics to cut out for it. So that is the out and about bag. I'm really, really happy with it. Someone asked me on Instagram, what do I use for my bags in terms of interfacing? So some of the panels have normal standard interfacing, like the panel that goes on here, that is interfaced with normal fabric because you stitch it on, flip it up, then insert the zip, and it just gives this bit here a little bit of structure. But the actual bag itself, all of this sort of area, to give it the stability and the firmness of a decent sort of weight to it, I use bag making foam, which you can see a massive roll of here because I had a delivery this week, which I'll go into more detail about in a minute. But basically, bag making foam comes, you can either buy it by the metre, on a roll, on a bolt. I've actually got it on, this is a 60-inch roll here. I've got it on a 90-centimetre roll, and I've also got it on a 20-inch bolt because I use so much of it. So depending on the size of the pattern and what requirement it is for the sheet of foam that you're using, I use it off a bolt, a roll, or a smaller roll, depending on the width of the foam needed. So insulation foam is not insulation foam. I wish it was insulation foam because it would be cheaper. So bag making foam is basically, Annie does their own one called Soft and Stable. Soft and Stable is a very, very good product. It's machine washable. You can tumble dry it or put it in the dryer, as they are called in the States. And it is made from a polyester foam that is sandwiched between two fine layers of polyester fabric. So if you actually look at the inside, it is a foam in here, and then it's a fluffy sort of polyester fabric on the outside. And what this does is, it actually, when you put your fabric either side of it, it slightly grips the fabric, a little bit like hook and loop tape, but not as strong. You can still, I mean, the fabric would still fall off it if you was to pick it up, but it just gives you a little bit of friction in between the two. So when you quilt the fabric, like you would if you was quilting a quilt, this is basically what you would use as your batting to create the fabric, the quilted fabric, to then cut your pieces from to construct your bag. You can use it other ways. You can attach it to like the outside of the bag and then have a float lining inside as well, which is what a lot of other designers, pattern designers use. But it's super, super flexible. You can screw it up and it will always pop back to its original shape, more or less. So it just gives you more stability than with a fusible fleece. It gives you sort of more of a pop-up effect rather than a fusible fleece, which just gives you sort of stability. So that is bag making foam. I can actually show you some quilted fabric that is an offcut, which is this. So this is a piece of quilted fabric that's left over from quilting the fabric for my bag. So basically you have an outer fabric, a lining fabric, or whichever way around you want, and then in the bag foam inside. And what you do is you quilt through it, and it gives you your fabric that you basically make your bag from. And when it's constructed, it gets firmer because you're giving it more structure. So that is bag making foam, sort of short 101 class, or however you want to call it. So other than that, I had a haul in such words, turn up this week. I'm going to take my jacket off quickly because I am getting rather warm now. Stood in front of a radiator with a wool-lined jacket on. So I did a massive order this week. I needed some wholesale stuff, so I did a wholesale order. The wholesalers that I used is a Biani wholesaler, so which is why I got my big bowl of foam. This is a Pellon foam. It's not one that I've used before, but I have used it. I used part of it to make my rucksack, and it works exactly the same as Soft and Stable, and it also works exactly the same as the Starville foam, which is from Wieslein, how do you pronounce it? So that turned up with part of the wholesale order. The other part of it was a load of By Annie fold over elastic in all the different colours. I ordered some new patterns from By Annie. One of them is the Flip It Out, which is a little scissor pop-up case which rolls down so you can use it like a little pen case. I ordered Night and Day, which makes these beautiful tote bags that has another bag that you can actually fit inside and use as an organiser, or you can use it as a clutch. There is the MJ's messenger bag, which is just standard sort of messenger bag, comes in 2 different sizes. This is something that I will start looking at making and possibly putting into my store. And this one was bought in mind with someone that everyone sort of knows maybe, and this is to make some packing cases, which is Pack It In 2.0. So every time they update a pattern, they basically turn it into 2.0, and then if they update it again, it'll then become 2.1 and so on. The other thing that I got was a load of the Biani mesh in all different colours, because you can never have too many. I have organised my sewing room massively this week, which means that I'm going to do a sewing tour soon, which I keep saying I'm going to do, but I will get it done. And the other thing that I got from the wholesalers was the paper pieces for the Tula Nova quilt. So I have actually started this, so it comes with all the pre-cuts. I have started this, but I was cutting all of my paper pieces by hand, and it was driving me absolutely nuts. So I just thought, you know what, treat yourself and just buy the proper paper pieces. So that is part of the Tula Nova quilt that I'm working on at the moment. So this is some of the paper pieces that are to go around one of the layers of it. And besides that, I think that is enough of me waffling for one day. I had the huge pleasure yesterday yesterday and the day before, because we did a little test run the day before, with having a sew-along Zoom with Marie from Marie Scrappy Creations, which will be edited and put out over the next week or so on both of our channels. So be prepared and look out for that when that lands, or when it drops, or however you want to say it. I am super, super excited about that. We had the best time filming. It was hilarious. There was one part of the test thing, which I will pop in a minute, where we were trying to work out how the recording on Zoom works, and I managed to get playing on filters. I don't actually really know how I done it, but it was pretty hysterical. So I will speak to you all soon, and I will leave you with that on the outro. Take care, have a good week, and I will be back next week with a knitting and stitching update, hopefully a sewing room tour, and another episode of Fridaysews. So I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye. Yeah, it works.
Woo! Yeah. What do you have? It looked like you had pizza on your head. You do. Or it's a party hat. It looks like a slice of pepperoni.
Pizza party.
Okay.